Sony tries it. Obviously, Sony tries anything and everything it possibly can to make sure that, people out there actually watch their Marvel content. Venom, losing some of the budget, losing a high-profile director for the third movie in the franchise. The Morbius movie kind of crashed and burned. Obviously, its Morbin time is more of a joke now than anything else. The Madam Web movie is currently in production with not a lot of hope behind it. And the Craven movie is also, I think, either done or wrapping up filming. But what we're finding out now is that Amazon has ordered multiple Marvel Sony shows, beginning with Silk Spider Society from The Walking Dead alum Angela Kang. Why isn't this on Disney Plus? Why isn't this on Disney Plus? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I don't get. That's what I don't understand. Sony doesn't have a home for streaming. They kind of sell everything off. They license everything off. Okay. But it's like they could go and work with Disney on a show like this and have it tie in to everything. We know that they want to have it tied into everything. But I'll tell you the big deal with this as we get into it here. It's really just about the deal Sony Television has with Amazon, and they have a lot of stuff that they do through Amazon. So it's completely ridiculous. Yes, Garrick, I'm aware that Sony decides where it goes, but it's very stupid, in my opinion, to not have this be on Disney Plus. Disney's clearly the better choice, but whatever, let's dive in. Okay, so Amazon orders multiple Marvel Sony shows. I mean, cool. Amazon is officially moving forward with the multiple live action shows based on the Marvel characters controlled by Sony. The first series under the deal will be Silk Spider Society, which was developed by The Walking Dead showrunner Angela Kang, along with Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse producers Phil Lord and Chris Miller. They got a deal a while back. Yeah, they signed a multi-year overall television deal with Sony, and they were going to do a lot with the Spider-Man stuff. If you've seen Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, you know exactly what kind of love and care and devotion that these guys are going to bring to the table. And I don't even think that's up for debate at this point. We know how well it's going to do with them. And I think that's what has me the most excited. I love Phil Lord and Chris Miller. I very much am happy to see what's going to be happy with this, what's going to be happening with this. But it's one of those ones too. I'm a little bit worried that it's if Pascal's got a big play in it, if Avi Arad's got a big say in it, if the powers that be at Sony, who I don't necessarily feel make the best decisions, have a lot of say in this, how much studio interference, studio meddling is going to be part of this. I don't quite know. But anyway, it says here that Silk Spider Society will debut domestically on MGM's linear channel, followed by a global launch on Prime Video. The show is based on the characters by Dan Slott and Humberto Ramos for Marvel Comics. It follows Cindy Moon, described as a Korean-American woman bitten by the same spider that bit Peter Parker, as she escapes imprisonment and searches for her missing family on the way to becoming the superhero known as Silk. I have a feeling that the super spider will probably not be, the irradiated spider will probably not be the same one that bit Peter Parker. It just seems kind of weird. It's like, unless she's dragged to Oscorp and she's tested on, it makes literally, I don't know the story. I've never seen it. So I have no idea what's going to happen with it, but we'll have to wait and see. So Jennifer Salk, who's head of Amazon Studios here, she says Amy Pascal, Phil Lord, Chris Miller, and Sony's recent live action and animated reimagining of the Spider-Man franchise has represented some of the most dynamic superhero storytelling in film. Together with Angela Kang's creative vision, we couldn't be more pleased to bring Silk Spider Society to our MGM Plus and Prime Video customers. Now, what I find to be fascinating with that is the fact that they're putting it on MGM Plus first. And that is, I mean, obviously that is just, I think, based upon a deal that they might have already pre-existing with Sony Television. And that's just what they came up with. And then after that, it's going to go to Prime. But also Amazon's in the process of laying off 10,000 people. And there's been some speculation, some chatter, I should say, on social media from some of those soon to be laid off Amazon employees that, they should probably, lay off the writers of the Lord of the Rings show, because those people are blaming them for this right now, which I find to be kind of ridiculous. I do find to be kind of ridiculous there. By the way, H. Bars Man, thank you so much for that $50 super chat. I will get to that as soon as I'm done. But thank you, man, very much. That means a lot to me. Moving on here, the article does go on to say that the Silk series and other shows based on Sony's controlled Marvel's characters was originally reported as being back in the works in September 2020. At that time, Lauren Moon was writing Silk, while it was reported in 2021 that Tom Spezialy has joined the series as showrunner and part of his overall Amazon deal. So they are, teaming up with Sony, but they are, obviously they're trying to make it work to bring everyone together. So according to Catherine Pope, the head of Sony Pictures Television Studios, she says here, I mean, this is obvious PR flair. We can't wait to bring the adventures of Cindy Moon to life, thanks to our creative dream team of Chris and Phil, Angela and Amy, along with our partners at Marvel and Amazon. You gotta love it, you guys. You gotta love all this coming together. It's like everyone just wants to know how it's going to work and how it's going to tie in to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. At this point, that is what we know people want. People are clamoring for Sony to tie in to the larger Marvel properties. No, and I've seen chatter about this recently. I just want to put that to bed. No, the vast majority of people out there are done with Marvel interconnectivity and just want standalone shit. Bullshit. They want connected stories. They want connected tales. They want connected characters, but they want it done in a clear and cohesive world. And that is something that right now, Sony, with the control of these characters, just seems to be like whacking their dicks in the wind over it. And we all have to just kind of wait and see how they fuck it up, leading to the eventual buyout of Sony from some other company, in which case the rights for Spider-Man revert back to Marvel. Anyway, it does finish up here by saying that it's unknown at this time which other Marvel characters will be featured in the Amazon shows, though Sony currently controls over 900 characters associated with the Spider-Man franchise. If only it was over 9,000, that meme would sell itself right here. Sony has released multiple Spider-Man live-action films in the past and currently works with Marvel Studios on the rebooted franchise starring Tom Holland. Yes, we know all this kind of stuff. But look, it's like Sony, look, okay, the very last paragraph here says, to date, Sony has also released live-action films Venom, its sequel Let There Be Carnage, as well as Morbius starring Jared Leto. A third Venom film is currently in development, while Sony has also worked on film versions of characters like Kraven the Hunter and Madam Web. It's like, we know at this point that it's just going to be a crazy ass thing. Ozymandias here says Amazon's going to buy Sony. I don't think so. And I say that predominantly because they just bought MGM for $8 billion. That might get them in some of the regulatory problems. You know what I'm saying there? Like Disney buying Fox made sense because there's other fish in the sea on that front. Them buying Amazon now owning a distributor like MGM might actually be in a weird place for that. Ryan, I see your super chat. We'll get to that here at the end. Thank you, buddy. So obviously in this particular case, we're gonna have to wait to see what happens, but they seem to be focusing on the female spider side of things. And I'm really curious to see how that plays out. I think getting more out of Spider-Man is going to be great, but as always, I just want it to be cohesive and conclusive and interconnected because I'm an absolute shill for that shit. And I think a lot of you guys are as well, but definitely let me know what you think.